if ever that you will become president of the Philippines, no?
Okay.
What will be the top 3 things that you will change in the Philippines? Top 3 things that you will be doing.
Actually, well, hindi na kailangan magsabi ng top 3. You have to go to the basis of everything. We have to return to good governance. May kultura ngayon sa gobyerno. Yan ang frustration ni Pangulong Duterte. Yung sinasabi niya, hindi ko maayos yung corruption. That culture that we have allowed to dominate in our bureaucracy, that's the first thing you have to change.
Halimbawa po, considering that you win as you will be proclaimed as the Vice President. First, ano po yung inyong interest na magiging role ninyo as Vice President? No? And then second, what is your position to the BOL? BOL, yung Bangsamoro Organic Law. This is very important for us. And may mga haka-haka, not haka-haka, kundi may statement po si Pangulong Duterte na kapag kayo po yung naging Vice President, ay bababa siya sa pagiging presidente. Ano po yung mga posisyon niyo dyan sa... Yeah, yung pong una, yung inyong if you will be proclaimed as the Vice President. Ano po yung...
Ako naman, nadaanan ko na rin yung executive, nadaanan ko na yung legislature. Marami na rin akong naging experience. So, although my preference myself, of course, would be to do some work in terms not so political, but really in terms of nation building. Yun naman ang lagi namin iniisip. Paano ako makatulong para gumanda ang buhay ng tao? Paano natin dahan-dahan pauwiin na yung ating mga OFW? Paano tayo mag-prepare sa bagong mga teknolohiya para yung call centers natin ay handa naman sa pagbabago? Paano natin ibabalanse yung growth natin? All of this. So, I'm talking about the economy. But of course, even yung good governance is also an important part. I think the short answer would be, I would be happy to serve. I have been in public service practically all my adult life, and it's very distracting for me to be not to be in office. But what happens is that I continue with my public service. So to do more that we can do. I think malaking pagbabago sa mundo ngayon, and we have to recognize that. And I'm not talking only about technology, but I'm also talking about geopolitical developments. And there are many adjustments that we have to make. And there are there's much that we have to study to understand kung anong positioning ng Pilipinas. Napag-usapan yung West Philippine Sea, the problem we have with the Chinese. That kind of problem would be something that I think I can specific to the Chinese. I was there on the first trip that the Philippines made to China, so I have some understanding of the evolution of that relationship. So kahit saan ako I will be happy to work. I have done my past work was of course in local government, and I would like to strengthen that. But federalism is going to be part of that effort. Next question was on the Bangsamoro law. The law that was passed is much better than the version that was forced upon the House by Malacanang in Aquino's time. And the problems of the constitutional bodies that were contained in the original draft have been removed. There is still the opt-in, opt-out, which for me is going to be difficult administratively anyway. But it will be tested in the Supreme Court. I am sure that it will be tested in the Supreme Court, and we will just have to wait to see what the decisions are. I really believe, I will say this maybe for the last time, that it was always my belief once we were studying the then BBL, was that what we needed was not a new law. What we needed was an amendment to the arm law. Because there were many reasons for this, but primary of which, if you remember, I was a vice chairman of Miriam's committee on on constitutional amendments. And we conducted hearings on the constitutionality of the BBL as it was written then. And they did not talk about the constitutional bodies. They did not talk about, what they talked about was the question that they raised to our resource persons, which were all the chief justices, former chief justices. What they raised was, does Congress have the power to create another autonomous region? Because if you look at the Constitution says the first Congress will create two autonomous regions, one in Cordillera and one in Muslim Mindanao. The Cordillera failed because hindi nanalo sa plebiscito. The Muslim Mindanao, the Muslim Mindanao autonomous region became armed. Now, does Congress have the power to create another? That is a very legalistic, extremely important point. So, matetest talaga yan. So, I wish it all the success because kailangan natin makahanap ng paraan na magkaroon na ng kapayapaan sa atin. Because when I say sa atin, kasi kung may problema sa Mindanao, may problema sa buong Pilipinas. And I always view the Mindanao problem as a Philippine problem. You cannot isolate it. Hindi na talagang imposible sasabihin mo, tiga Maynila ako, tiga Ilocos ako, wala akong kinalaman dyan. Hindi, may effect pa rin. Kaya't kailangan intindihin natin na national problem ito. So, that is that in my view is that let's keep trying. We'll watch what happens in the Supreme Court when they will be testing the constitutionality of the BOL. Tingnan natin kung ano maging resulta, but I hope it is successful simply because it is necessary. There is a new element that has entered into this discussion that was not there when we began this discussion, which is ISIS. This is something that we must recognize. Yung nangyari sa Marawi, although wala nang putukan ngayon, hindi pa tapos yan. ISIS will come back. And if we do not have a deal in place with our Muslim brothers in the South, then masisingitan tayo ng ISIS. Kasi naman kahit na yung MN, kahit yung ML, yung MI, ayaw nila ng ISIS. Wala namang may gusto dyan kahit Baranao, kahit walang may gusto niyan. So, kung hindi tayo nagkakasundo, hindi natin malalabanan yan. And magkakaroon tayo ng Marawi ulit. Kahit napaka-importante na maging matagumpay ang Bangsamoro Law in whatever form it will end up. The last part of your question, yung sinasabi ni, alam naman, sanay na kayo sa media, playtime lang tayo ni Presidente. Kasi pinaglalaroan niya, nakakoma na daw siya so sabi niya, di mag-retire na ako. Sabi niya, nakakoma na naman ako. Dito natin ibibigay, ganun. I think the President is doing all of this tongue-in-cheek. So I wouldn't take it so seriously because I think he knows na kailangan pa rin siya na maging Pangulo at marami pa siyang kailangan inaasahan. Marami pang inaasahan sa kanya ang taong bayan. And I think he knows that.
Okay, very good answer from Senator Bongbong Marcos. If ever that you will become President of the Philippines, no?
Okay.
What will be the top 3 things that you will change in the Philippines? Top 3 things that you will be doing.
Actually, hindi na kailangan magsabi ng top 3. You have to go to the basis of everything. We have to return to good governance. May kultura ngayon sa gobyerno. Yan ang frustration ni Pangulong Duterte. Yung sinasabi niya, hindi ko maayos yung corruption. That culture that we have allowed to dominate in our bureaucracy, that's the first thing you have to change. Kasi kahit na pag corrupt pa rin ang mga tao mo, kahit na anong gusto mong gawin, mababayaran sila, masisira yung iyong proyekto, masisira yung iyong programa. If you are going to say, I want to do improve agriculture, kung corrupt ang mga tao mo, walang mangyayari dun sa ninanakaw lahat ng pera. And and then if this what has developed into a highly politicized bureaucracy, highly politicized institutions, yan ang mga sumisira sa atin. At kaya kailangan natin balikan na maunawaan ng ating mga na workers na sa gobyerno, no, kayo ay nandito para magserbisyo. At ito yung inyong trabaho. Kung minsan kasalanan din, hindi rin masisisi kasi hindi maliwanag kung ano ang inaasahan natin sa kanila. But in other words, what I am saying is that we have to return government and allow government to govern. And we have to return government and the bureaucracy into a culture of service, not of corruption. And that's the basis. Pag nagawa mo yun,
Everything
at
will
least
follow.
hindi naman, everything can follow. It cannot follow unless you have a bureaucracy that is willing, that is going to work towards the goals that you have set for the government. Kung nagsasarili lahat, kung ano-ano ginagawa, hindi sumusunod sa utos, wala talagang mangyayari dyan. So we have to really bring back that culture of service in government. We stay 1 more hour because may kailangan pang gawin. We don't go to lunch because we go an extra mile, we talk to somebody because nangangailangan yung tao. That's the culture that we need to return to. We had that before, pero napabayaan napabayaan. Walang yung leadership dun sa in terms of direction and example. Medyo nawala, kaya napunta tayo sa ganito. Pero mabait naman ang Pilipino mahusay ang Pilipino masipag ang Pilipino Kaya that can be done. It actually can be done.
Final question, Ambassador Fajardo.
Isa sa aking gusto malaman is in case na hindi mag-prosper tong petition, no, sa tribunal, tapet. Ano po yung inyong isa pang balak na ano talaga, yung susunod na inyong gustong maging ano,
Well,
maging presidente or maging senador muli? Kasi alam nyo, kaya ko po na itanong to, yung pong nangyari kasi dyan sa Dayaan, may malaki pong dapat na gawin dyan na pagbabago. No? Na sa nakikita ko, kayo po ang mga pinakamagandang makakapag-contribute kung paano masosolve yung Dayaan na yan.
Alam niyo yung mga nangyari na Dayaan, lahat yan, nangyari yan dahil gumawa sila ng labag sa batas at hindi sumusunod sa mga rules. Nandyan naman sa atin kaya kuminsan yung mga batas, sasabihin, gagawa tayo ng batas na ganito. Kumpleto naman ang batas natin hindi lang natin sinusundan Kagaya itong sa Smartmatic, ang daming rekomendasyon na sinasabi, weakness ito, vulnerability ito. Wala namang ginawa ang COMELEC. Kasi talagang may balak silang gamitin yung sistema ng pandaraya. Kaya parang kuminsan magpakatotoo na tayo at sabihin natin kung ano ba talaga nangyari. Huwag na tayo nilin lang ang tao na maraming dahilan na ganito. Maliwanag na nangyari. Kaya tigil na natin yan. Hindi na bali yung kandidatura ko. Ang iniisipin natin yung bansa, ano bang mangyayari sa electoral system natin? Ano bang mangyayari sa mga kabataan na sinasabi, ba't pa tayo boboto? Hindi naman nabibilang. Mawawala sila ng interes sa politika, walang papasok sa gobyerno. Sino susunod sa atin? All of these problems are fundamental, again, to our, they are existential to our state. Kaya kailangan talaga, yan sa aking palagay, it will take a great deal of commitment. At siyempre, these are very powerful forces. If there's something that we never do, it's give up. When things get hard, keep going. Yan ang ating mga so we just keep going because it's something that I truly believe in. And I really think that it is something that we need to fix. And my protest is a method by which we can fix that. Because of my protest, lumabas na ang sistema ng pandaraya. Lumabas na ang nangyari sa nakaraang halalan kung paano dinaya ang eleksyon. It is now up to us to do something about it. I think the evidence is clear. Nag-aalisan na yung mga Venezuelan, wala na natira dito. Alam na nilang nabisto na sila. So the ball is very much in our court. And it is up to our government, our leaders to show leadership and to take the ethical and moral high ground. And this is an opportunity that I hope they do not squander.